They say in hospitality, the first 7 seconds of an interaction essentially dictate a guest's entire perception of their stay. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to move way beyond basic customer service to unpack a practical toolkit for mastering culturally sensitive and genuinely memorable first impressions. Picture this, a weary traveler walking up to your desk in a completely chaotic, bustling arrivals area. They're exhausted, they're jet-lagged, and they're trying to navigate a totally new environment. How you greet them in those crucial first few seconds, that sets the entire psychological tone for their trip. Are they going to feel stressed and out of place, or are they going to feel instantly welcomed, relaxed, and confident that they're in really good hands? Today, we're going to cover 4 key areas: the art of welcoming, making a personal connection, navigating cultural differences, and finally, the power of politeness.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the art of welcoming. Think about the phrase, "Welcome to destination. We're glad to have you here." This is literally the gold standard of welcoming phrases. It's friendly, it's highly professional, and most importantly, it anchors the traveler. It instantly replaces all that travel anxiety with a concrete acknowledgement that, hey, you've arrived. It's such a simple phrase, but it's incredibly powerful when you deliver it with genuine enthusiasm.
Now, it's surprisingly easy, especially when you're processing dozens of people back to back, to just default to a generic kind of thoughtless hello. But grounding your greeting in the present moment by specifically using good morning, good afternoon, or good evening adds an immediate layer of tailored attentiveness. It snaps the guest back into the present and instantly elevates your professionalism. Moving right along to Section 2, making a personal connection.
So the really crucial point here is following this exact interaction sequence. After you welcome and greet them, you seamlessly pivot to introducing who you are and then what you can do for them. It's a very logical flow, right? You establish comfort, then you establish identity, and finally, you establish value.
When you say something like, "Hello, I'm your name and I work here as a job title. Please feel free to ask me anything," you completely change the dynamic. By simply giving your name and title, you cease to be just some nameless employee behind a desk. You instantly become their dedicated guide, and giving them explicit permission to rely on you is a massive psychological relief for a traveler.
Then, step 3 is anticipating their needs. We offer a variety of services. Would you like more information on any of these? You never want to assume a tired traveler knows what your organization actually offers. Putting the menu of options right in front of them totally prevents that overwhelmed, "where do I even start?" look, and clearly outlines exactly how you can enhance their stay.
But, that brings up a really fascinating question. Does politeness look the same everywhere? Like, what happens when the perfect greeting in one culture is actually considered rude, intrusive, or even overly aggressive in another?
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, navigating cultural differences.
We need to look at 3 main pillars of cultural sensitivity here: body language, personal space, and eye contact. Some cultures are completely fine with close physical proximity, while others absolutely require a much wider buffer to feel secure. True hospitality is about actively observing and adjusting these nonverbal cues in real time, based entirely on the comfort level of the specific person standing right in front of you. Like, think about a firm handshake. In a lot of Western cultures, that communicates confidence and warmth, right? But a respectful bow or a slight nod is actually the polite standard in many Eastern cultures. Reaching out aggressively for a handshake might actually be pretty jarring. You absolutely have to adapt your physical greeting to their expectations, not yours. It's the exact same deal with eye contact. In some cultures, sustained eye contact is a great sign of honesty and active listening. But, and this is super vital to remember, in others, it can be perceived as challenging or aggressive. You've got to be totally ready to soften your gaze and match the rhythm to maintain a truly welcoming environment. And that leads us to our final section, Section 4, the power of politeness. Making the effort to deploy even just basic phrases in a tourist's native language is honestly like a hospitality superpower. Throwing in a quick s'il vous plaît in French, a gracias in Spanish, or a sumimasen in Japanese goes an incredibly long way. And look, you do not need to be fluent. Simply trying these words breaks the ice instantly and shows immense respect for their culture. It's also all about continuously assessing context. Saying, "Good afternoon, Mr. Smith," uses a formal title, which is an absolute requirement in high-end service settings or certain cultures to show respect. On the flip side, "Hi, John, how are you today?" is the perfect approach for, say, a casual, relaxed tour group. You have to read the room to strike the exact right chord. So, equipped with these specific welcoming phrases, the right introduction sequence, and these absolutely vital cultural insights, the power to shape a journey is entirely in your hands. Knowing how drastically a simple hello can alter a traveler's entire experience, what lasting impression will your next greeting leave?